Earth 2 is a fictional universe appearing in American comic book stories published by DC Comics. First appearing in The Flash number 123, Earth 2 was created to explain how Silver Age versions of characters such as The Flash could appear in stories with their Golden Age counterparts. This Earth 2 continuity includes DC Golden Age heroes, including the Justice Society of America, whose careers began at the dawn of World War II, concurrently with their first appearances in comics. Earth 2, along with the 4 other surviving Earths of the DC Multiverse, were merged into one in the 1985 miniseries Crisis on Infinite Earths. However, following the events of Infinite Crisis, the multiverse was reborn, although the subsequent Earth 2 was not the same as its pre-crisis equivalent. Following the events of Flashpoint, Earth 2 underwent an additional reiteration. While it still houses a team of superheroes, its membership is younger than before. Earth 2 also has a tragic backstory, having been invaded by a horde of alien invaders from Apocalypse 5 years prior to the reboot, ahead of Darkseid's attempted invasion of Prime Earth. In the process, this reality's Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman all died, while its Robin and Supergirl were swept through a dimensional warp to Prime Earth where they became known as Power Girl and Huntress. History: Flash of Two Worlds. Characters from DC Comics were originally suggestive of each existing in their own world, as superheroes never encountered each other. This was soon changed with alliances being formed between certain protagonists. Several publications, including All-Star Comics, Leading Comics and other comic books introduced a shared universe among several characters during the 1940s until the present day. Alternative reality Earths had been used in DC stories before, but were usually not referred to after that particular story. Most of these alternative Earths were usually so vastly different that no one would confuse that Earth and its history with the so-called real Earth. That would change when the existence of another reliable Earth was established in a story titled Flash of Two Worlds, in which Barry Allen, the modern Flash later referred to as Earth 1, first travels to another Earth, accidentally vibrating at just the right speed to appear on Earth 2, where he meets Jay Garrick, his Earth 2 counterpart. He claims Gardner Fox's dreams were tuned into Earth 2. Superman Kal-El is the first major reliable costumed superhero to surface on Earth 2, discounting earlier part-time heroes such as Dr. Occult. Most of the following costumed mystery men history is based on the Earth 2 Superman's initial appearance, where these previously independent operating heroes begin to reliably interact. In order to distinguish him from the later primary version of the character, this Superman is called Kal-El, using the spelling of Superman's Kryptonian name in his early appearances. He was specifically introduced as an Earth 2 character in Justice League of America number 73. Most superheroes from the Golden Age later followed this trend of operating publicly, while wearing distinctive costuming and interacting in a largely shared universe. The primary characters of Superman and Batman still largely worked independent of team environments. Infinity, Incorporated, a group made up of the children and heirs of the Justice Society, was introduced in All-Star Squadron number 25. There was an eponymous comic series starring the group, which ran from March 1984 through June 1988. Destruction, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Crisis on Infinite Earths was an effort by DC Comics to clean up their continuity, resulting in their multiple universes combining into one. Since then, a handful of characters originating from Earth 2 have consistently remained part of the merged Earth, including Power Girl, Jay Garrick, and Alan Scott. Superman and Lois Lane from Earth 2 were transported into a ghost-like paradise dimension tangential to the new universe. Following the end of the known multiverse, more alternate realities were discovered. Even though Earth 3 was destroyed in the Anti-Monitor's antimatter wave attacks, a new crime syndicate developed in the antimatter universe of Quad, which was very different in background and power base from the pre-crisis Earth 3 group, though same in the number of members. After the Kingdom event, hypertime and divergent realities were revealed, but never supposed to be accessed, as stated in the Zero Hour event. They were later revealed when a directly parallel Flash entered the mainstream DC universe and threatened to destroy it. These alternate realities are usually addressed as elsewhere, and Elseworld stories. Infinite Crisis. Kal-El, Lois Lane Kent, Superboy Prime, and Alexander Luthor returned during Infinite Crisis. Unknown to Kal-El, Luthor's plan was to resurrect the pre-crisis multiverse. He wanted to mix and match elements from each reality to create a perfect world. The fallout of the conflict brought the short-lived return of an Earth-2 copy in the deaths of Kal-El, Lois Lane Kent and Luthor Jr. of Earth-3. It is unclear what happened to the aged Diana Trevor, the Earth-2 Wonder Woman, though she faded from her ghostly existence. Inexplicably, Earth-2 was the only returning world that was devoid of most people, except the Justice Society, Kal-El, and his wife Lois Kent. This world was a copy, new and recently manufactured by Alexander Luthor, Jr. of pre-crisis Earth-3, instead of resurrected. This copy Earth-2 was recombined with the primary Earth to form the primary DC reality termed as New Earth. Post-52 version. At the end of the Infinite Crisis limited series, the realigned world is called New Earth. In the final issue of the 52 weekly series, it is revealed that 52 duplicate worlds have been created and all but New Earth have been altered from the original incarnation. The post-crisis Earth-2 made its first appearance in a single panel of 52 Week 52 where it resembled the pre-crisis Earth-2, where a newspaper article says that this world Superman and Power Girl are missing. The flashes of New Earth briefly glimpsed this world with Robin and Huntress in Action number 11, and Monarch selected Jay Garrick of this Earth in a multiversal arena tournament. Based on comments by 52 co-writer Grant Morrison, this alternate universe is not the pre-crisis Earth-2. This separation between the pre-crisis Earth-2 and post-crisis Earth-2 is formally established in Justice Society of America Annual No. 1 with a story titled Earth-2, Chapter 1, Golden Age, where the New Earth Power Girl arrives on post-crisis Earth-2. Thinking that she has had her most longing desire fulfilled of returning home to her long-destroyed source reality of pre-crisis Earth-2 somehow by GOG, Power Girl crash lands unconscious on the closest parallel of the 52 multiverse, post-crisis Earth-2, which appears similar to the pre-crisis Earth-2. She is found by the post-crisis Earth-2 Huntress, who thinks her to be her long-missing best friend, the Power Girl native to this world. In this new reality, the Justice Society of America has merged with Infinity, Incorporated and is now known as Justice Society Infinity. Initially, Power Girl believes she has returned home, until the missing post-crisis Earth-2 Power Girl reappears and declares that the other Power Girl is an imposter and has caused the disappearance of the post-crisis Earth-2 Superman, which results in the post-crisis Earth-2 Power Girl and the Justice Society Infinity to go after the New Earth Power Girl. The Power Girl of New Earth recruits the post-crisis Earth-2 Michael Holt, who is a physics professor and father and has never become a costumed hero, to help her return to her source Earth. Holt constructs a device similar to the cosmic treadmill used by Barry Allen to open a portal to New Earth. The Power Girl of New Earth returns home, followed by the Justice Society Infinity, who kidnap her and take her back to post-crisis Earth-2. During the confrontation, Green Lantern and Jade are initially confused when they see each other, as the post-crisis Earth-2 Jade's father, Alan Scott, is dead, and New Earth's Jade is dead as well. The JSI interrogate Power Girl for information on the post-crisis Earth-2 Superman's whereabouts. The post-crisis Earth-2 Power Girl assumes that the Superman the New Earth Power Girl said was dead was the post-crisis Earth-2 Superman and that the New Earth Power Girl had killed him. The Justice Society of New Earth arrives to stop her torture. Starman reveals that the recreation of the multiverse led to the creation of a Power Girl and Superman native to this new universe, post-crisis Earth-2, and that the post-crisis Earth-2 Superman is still alive. The Power Girl of New Earth then returns home along with her Justice Society but with no apology from her counterpart nor from the post-crisis Earth-2 Huntress for their actions against her. The New 52, the Earth-2 concept has been revived as part of the publisher's The New 52 event, following another reboot of the DC Multiverse. The universe is covered in two series. World's Finest, which focuses on the adventures of the Huntress and Power Girl on New Earth written by Paul Levitz, and Earth-2, originally written by James Robinson and then by Tom Taylor, which features the formation of the Justice Society. James Robinson, the original writer of Earth 2, describes the new Earth 2 as a complete reboot of the concept, with superheroes only just now appearing, similar to the young hero concept for the New 52 continuity, and with revamped costume designs. In Earth 2, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman seemingly gave their lives in order to repel the apocalyptic invasion, leaving behind a world with no heroes. Supergirl and Robin end up stranded in the mainstream universe towards the end of the invasion. When the Earth 2 Solomon Grundy threatens the world, 3 new heroes team up to defeat him: The Flash, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern. In later issues, Mr. Terrific from the mainstream universe joins the team. Other heroes who have made appearances include Dr. Fate, the Atom, now nuclear-powered, the Sandman, Mr. Miracle, and Big Barda. Villains include Solomon Grundy, a now villainous Terry Sloan, Votan, Steppenwolf, and what was thought to be a surviving, Darkseid brainwashed Superman, which turned out to be a very powerful but genetically unstable Bizarro-type clone. Writer James Robinson left the series with issue number 16 and Tom Taylor became the new writer at number 17. Other new characters introduced as the series progresses include a female Red Tornado, a hyper-intelligent knowledge assimilator known as Accountable, a new Batman, a new version of Aquawoman, and another Kryptonian, Val Zod, who had been imprisoned by Terry Sloan. Unique features: in classic Earth 2 stories, Quebec is shown to be an independent nation autonomous from Canada. Among other deviations from real-world history, South Africa had abolished apartheid sooner, and the Atlantean countries of Poseidonis and Tritonus were ruled by a queen, not a king. In addition, masked crime fighters are introduced decades earlier than in other universes later identified within DC Comics, and these participated in such historic conflicts as World War II. Franklin Delano Roosevelt founded both the Justice Society of America and the All-Star Squadron. Other events taking place decades earlier include the destruction of Krypton and the advent of advanced technology including interstellar transportation and time travel. Thousands of years ago, the Guardians of Earth 1's universe expelled the vast majority of magic from their universe, sending it to Earth 2's. This resulted in a predominance of magic and a weakening of scientific laws within Earth 2's universe. Earth 2 characters: the following is a list of Earth 2 superheroes, one that have other earthly counterparts or who immigrated from Earth 2. Other media: an Earth 2 skin pack was released as downloadable content for Injustice, Gods Among Us. It included alternate skins for The Flash, Hawkgirl, and Solomon Grundy based on the appearances of Jay Garrick, Kendra Saunders and Grundy in New 52. A pre-order skin pack for Batman, Arkham Origins video game will include 2 Earth 2 skins for Batman, both based on the New 52. One depicts the original Batman Bruce Wayne and the other depicting the new black and red Batman. Notes: 1 Jim Corrigan of Earth 2 was a murdered police detective who served as the human host for the Spectre. His Earth 1 counterpart was a Metropolis police officer who often assisted Daily Planet Cub reporter Jimmy Olsen and superhero Black Lightning. 2 As Dinah Drake was about to die, Johnny Thunder's Thunderbolt transferred her memories into the mind of her daughter Dinah Lance Euro, who had grown up in suspended animation in the Thunderbolt's magical dimension. After the memory transfer and Drake's death, the Earth 1 Superman brought Lance to his world, where she joined the Justice League of America. Because the Thunderbolt erased the fact that Drake had a daughter from everyone's memory, Lance did not discover her true origin or identity until years later. 3 During the 1970s and 1980s, the series The Brave and the Bold published a number of stories in which Wildcat teamed up with a character who appeared to be the Batman of Earth 1. In each of these stories, it was apparent that the 2 characters were from the same Earth. Since the JSA's Wildcat was clearly from Earth 2, it was suggested that these stories took place on Earth B, in a reality separate from DC's mainstream continuity. Subsequent appearances in other titles verified that the Wildcat from The Brave and the Bold was indeed from Earth 1, and that his appearances in B&B took place on Earth 1 as well. 4 A number of villains had counterparts on Earth 1, including the Joker, the Penguin, Two-Face, the Toyman, the Prankster, Mr. MXYZPTLK, etc. Generally speaking, the older Earth 2 versions were phased out or incorporated into their younger, Earth 1 versions following Crisis on Infinite Earths. 5. Larry Jordan, the first airwave and native of Earth 2, sometime after World War II, traveled to Earth 1 under yet unexplained circumstances, married Helen and raised a son, Hal. References. External links: Earth 2 at the Comic Book DB, Earth 2 at Mike's Amazing World of Comics.